guys, and welcome back. As promised from my last vlog, here is my crunchy loose granola recipe. Now this recipe is allergy friendly except for the honey. If you are allergic to honey, then I suggest you go ahead and switch that out with maple syrup. But this is my simple recipe for making my granola. The first thing I start out with is gathering my ingredients. You see I have my chia seeds, my flaxseed, my oatmeal, and my coconut flakes, and my honey. After I get my ingredients together, I preheat my oven to 350. Now, as stated before, this is a crunchy granola, so yes, we will be baking it. Now, I add about 3 cups of oatmeal to my bowl. And you guys, I really don't have specific measurements. I add to what I need for the amount I want to make. I add about a half a cup of chia seeds and a half a cup of flax seeds. Now, I do stir in my mixture real good before I add the honey to see if I need to add more chia seeds or more flax seeds. And you're going to see I did eventually add a little bit more chia seeds to this because it was lacking a little bit of it. Now, after I add a little bit more of my chia seeds, that's when I start looking at adding my honey. Again, I don't have particular measurements because you're looking for a certain consistency when you're making this. You want everything to be covered in the honey, but you don't want it to be too wet. Okay, so I'll say I'm adding about a half a cup here. Then I take it up and I, clean my area off and I stir it in, and I can kind of tell if this is going to be enough to coat all of my mixture. Yes, you guys, you need the whole mixture coated. So as I'm looking, I see I don't have enough. So I'm going to add some more honey to this, about another half a cup to this. And then I'm going to stir it in real good and make sure every bit of my oatmeal, my flaxseed, and my chia seeds are coated. Okay, you guys, as you can see, after a little while of stirring, this is what I mean by everything needs to be coated. It starts to kind of stick together and gather together, and you want everything nicely coated in the honey, okay? This is also adding to the sweetness of it, okay? Now, as I prepare my baking sheet, I'm only adding my parchment paper down to it so nothing sticks on my baking pan. Now, I am going to add a little bit more oatmeal to my mixture because like I said again, you don't want it to be too wet because we are drying it out in the oven. We are baking it and we need it to just be lightly coated. We need it to be well coated in the mixture, but not wet, if that makes sense to you. I'm sorry. I hope I'm explaining this right to you guys and that you're understanding what I'm talking about. So after I mix in the other half of the oatmeal that I added to it, I'm just going to go ahead and I have a little pet peeve. I like to clean my spoon off really well and make sure I get all the mixture off of it. And then I'm going to lay it down on my baking sheet and I'm going to begin to spread it out nice and evenly so that when it bakes, it's not baking unevenly, and it's not baking to where you have some pieces that will burn or some pieces that are crunchy and other pieces that are not crunchy. So you want to get it as thin of a layer as you possibly can and bake it off. Now all we have left to do is just add it to the oven so it can bake off. Now we're going to let this bake for about 15 minutes, and as I'm letting it bake, I go in and I just keep an eye on it, you guys. You don't want to walk away from it and just let it bake at random. Keep an eye on it, and even if you see some pieces that look like they're burning, go ahead and stir it up in the oven, okay? Now, you did not see me add my coconut flakes for a reason, and that's because coconut flakes can burn quickly. So after I've let it bake for a little while and it's to a nice golden brown, not quite all the way brown that we're going to need, that's when I stir in my coconut flakes and I put it back in the oven and I let it bake. This also allows me to see how much I need. And you see how loosely it is moving around on the pan? Like I said, if you see any one area burning or getting a little bit too dark, go ahead and stir it up. Now after I've added my coconut flakes in and I left them in the oven for just about 5 more minutes because like I said, coconut flakes tend to burn easily, okay? So you don't want to leave them in there for too long. This is the end results and the final product. I love it, you guys. Now the good thing about this granola is you can add and make it any way you want. My house is peanut friendly because my son is allergic to peanuts, so I don't add any peanut butter or anything like that, but you can. Like I said, if you're allergic to honey, you can substitute it for maple syrup and it tastes just as good. You can add sunflower seeds, a lot of different options to this recipe the way you want to. Now you see how I'm putting it in my container, but I had so much, I actually had another little jar over there that I ended up adding chocolate chips to, and it was so good. Now as I clean off my area, let me go ahead and make my yogurt parfait.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you guys, so if you saw my last vlog, you saw me making this granola before we left for our outing, and I think on that day we went to the movies. So yeah, that was our first outing for spring break. If you haven't had a chance to go look at that video, I'll put a card up here at the top and you can go watch it. Now, parfaits are so simple to make. All you need is fresh fruit of your choice, your yogurt, and I've done this with coconut yogurt, vanilla Greek yogurt, a lot of different flavors, okay? And then you just add your granola on top. This is why I like for my granola to be crunchy, because not only do I use it in my parfaits, I also use it in my chai pudding and different things like that. Even sometimes with my smoothies, I'll put the granola in there because I just like that little bit of crunch in there. And plus, I love the honey taste of this granola. So this is one of the things that I make that is, you know, just a simple recipe. And like I said, you can jazz this recipe up. You can add cinnamon to it. You can add peanut butter if you like. You can add so many things that suit your taste and your design. I truly hope you enjoyed this. You guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and leave a comment below of some of your favorite granola recipes. Like I said, an additional granola I had left over, I added chocolate chips to it, and I ate it with my strawberry parfait. You guys, I had coconut vanilla yogurt with it. It was so good. So like I said, anything to please your palate and what you like. But again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.